This program is sponsored in part by CarShield, giving thousands of vehicle owners peace of mind. Okay, folks, you want to hear a weird story? I have a million of them. I got an email from somebody who is in Elton John's band, who is a fan of my books. I said, this doesn't make sense. Elton John's like, my favorite music maker. And he invited me to Madison Square Garden, this is 3 years ago, to see Elton John perform. He took me backstage or whatever. He said, you want to go to the VIP reception? I said, am I dreaming? I'm backstage at an Elton John concert in my hometown of New York City, and I'm going to the VIP reception. I go to the VIP reception. I don't see any VIPs. But three women come up to me and say, we know you. You're Eric Metaxas. I said, now I'm dreaming. Why are you recognizing me at this? Long story short, they were from Dallas. They were part of the family of a man I've gotten to know recently named O.S. Hawkins. They had read my books. They introduced me to Bernie Taupin, the lyricist for Elton John. The whole thing was insane, and I will never forget that evening. And it wasn't until recently that I got to meet the father of two of these women, the husband of one of these women. His name is O.S. Hawkins. He's my guest today. O.S. Hawkins, welcome to the program.
Thank you, Eric. Joy to be here with you.
Listen, I will never forget when your wife came up to me. I said, I must be dreaming. It doesn't make sense to be an Elton John concert, to have somebody come up to me and say, okay, because this is New York City. People might know me in Dallas. But then I started looking you up, and I said, wow, this is an interesting man. I would like to meet him. And just recently, we've come together. We've gotten to know each other. And you're starting to tell me some stuff about some things you're involved in. A product that you're involved in, but it all centers around Israel. So I don't know. Let me ask you, how do I get into this conversation?
Isaiah said that the children of Jacob would be a light to the nations. And so Israel is a special place. You mentioned Susie, my wife. We've been there every year since 1974, except the COVID year, and many of those times 2 and 3 years. Have lots of friends and relationships over there. And a couple of years ago, a lawyer friend of mine that I've known for 30 years told me about a new product that had come out of a bioharvest company. It just sounded otherworldly to me, how they could take a grape and bioharvest it into something, and it's called Vinia. And I started taking it about a year and a half ago. It's from the Holy Land, which makes it great, and to understand what it is, basically in a sentence, Jesus' first miracle, he turned water into wine at the little village of Cana. Well, now another miracle, I think, has come from Israel, and it's we've seen wine turned in now to one tiny capsule. It's an incredible product that increases blood flow. I've got 3 or 4 book contracts right now. I'm more alert, Eric, than I've ever been. What it's done for me. I've gone to Ken Cooper for my annual physical, Dr. Cooper in Dallas at the Aerobic Center for 40 years. This last year, I had the best blood work I've ever had as far as blood pressure and blood flow and energy. And
well, listen, you were a preacher at First Baptist in Dallas for how many years?
I was there 4 or 5 years, and I was at First Baptist Fort Lauderdale 15 years before that.
Well, you've preached a little bit in your lifetime, and you still do a lot of preaching. I would say anybody who is very serious about their faith is not surprised. I mean, I'm speaking as a Christian, that crazy technologies are coming out of Israel. In other words, we kind of see it as a prophetic fulfillment.
Absolutely.
Because right now we're talking about one product, but every time I turn around, I'm hearing about crazy innovation, things that are, they feel like I don't want to say miraculous, but I'm saying they definitely
Well, they
feel
are.
like astonishing. You
Yeah.
say this is not just an incremental, this is a big deal thing. And so that's why, in a way, when I hear this, I'm sort of not surprised. I kind of feel like it's a fulfillment of biblical prophecy. There's a man sitting to your left
Right,
named Ilan Sobel,
right.
and he's involved in this, is he not?
He's become a dear friend of mine. Ilan is the CEO of Vinia BioHarvest. He's used to had a great career with Coca-Cola all over the world, and I've gotten to know and grow to know and to love him. And
you think we could possibly lure him into the conversation?
I think he knows a
He's
lot
very-
more about it.
I'm
than I
enjoying
do.
listening to you
Well,
guys.
I'm serious when I say that, people are always looking for solutions to any kind of a problem. But I'm always curious, how did it happen in your life? Who were you that brought you to this discovery to do this? Because not all patents are equal. This is kind of a big deal. So how was your life structured that you found this answer?
That's a great question, Eric. And, in Hebrew, we say that when things are meant to be, we say it's min hashamayim. This means min, from the sky, from God. And I really feel that the privilege that I have to be the CEO of BioHarvest Sciences, who are the makers and hold all the technology for this Vinia product, this really was from the skies. All the stars lined up for me in the context of my experience that I had as a senior leader in a major multinational company, to give me the experience to be able to take this company that I found as an amazing R&D company, almost like a gold mine of R&D, which had gold sitting in the gold mine, and it was waiting for somebody with similar experiences to what I had had globally to be able to mine the gold and bring what we call the power of the plant to the people.
Well, so what is for people listening right now, because we've been talking about a lot of stuff, but ultimately we're talking, it sounds to me like this distillate of something in the grape, within the wine grape. What is it that's new? In other words, what is this?
So what, you talked about the miracles from the land of Israel. Our company are the global leaders in plant cell technology. We know how to unlock the secrets of plants like no other company. God gave us on day 3, more than 500,000 plants. And he gave us these plants for a reason, because these plants all contain critical phytomedicinal compounds that are so important for our overall health and wellness. So we built a technology platform which is able to take any critical active ingredient from the plant, and we're able to grow these active ingredients in cells, in bioreactors, large industrial scale bioreactors, over a 3-week period with amazing solubility, which is so important for the actual active ingredients to go into our intestinal tract, and bioavailability to move into the blood plasma and to start to work with our cells. And our first product is, in fact, Vinia, which OS has been on for the last 18 months and has seen amazing results, as have over 15,000 customers who are have been taking the product since we launched at the end of 2020.
And what is at the heart of what this product does?
So what we did is we took the actual grape itself, we took the skin of cells from the skin of the grape, from the actual flesh of the grape and the seed of the grape. And we took these cells and we grow these cells in bioreactors. And as a result, we're able to bring in one capsule all the benefits of the polyphenols and the active ingredients, specifically Piceid resveratrol. We're the only company in the world that can actually grow Piceid resveratrol from the skin of the red grape, which is so important for your overall health and wellness. And through the technology, we actually increase the levels of the Piceid resveratrol 100 times versus what's found in the red grape. And this is the power, the magic that we bring in one capsule every day for the consumer.
The French eat this ostensibly unhealthy diet, a lot of fatty cheeses and da-da-da-da-da-da. But because they drink a lot of red wine, it negates the negative effect, more than negates the negative effect.
Correct.
It seems to me that it's that aspect of the red wine grape that you are unleashing here.
Correct, you got it. Vinia is actually anchored in the French paradox. And when the scientists went to understand that relationship between a very fatty diet and excellent cardiovascular health. As a result, they realized it was as a result of moderate consumption of red wine. That's actually 2 to 3 glasses of red wine every day. And when they went deeper to understand what was it inside the red wine, they realized it was the critical active polyphenols, like the piceid resveratrol, which is the king polyphenol in red wine, together with catechin, quercetins, tannins, and anthocyanins. So with Vinia, when we took the red grape, we took all of these critical polyphenols and we grow these in the cells. And as a result of the increase in the piceid resveratrol, that king polyphenol, we have amazing results that we've achieved in clinical trials, all double-blind placebo, which have been published in peer-reviewed scientific journals. And we were able to demonstrate that after taking 1 capsule a day, every day for 90 days, we were able to increase the flow-mediated dilation of one's arteries by 70% versus baseline. So what this means, Eric, is basically we increase the elasticity of the arteries. And as a result, you have more blood flow. And people don't realize how important blood flow is for your body. It's actually a critical part of your body's operating system. Think about it. It's such an important component of our body itself.
We're talking about circulation.
Exactly.
Okay.
And with circulation, you have more blood flow, means more oxygen and more nutrients going to the body tissue and organs.
And it strikes me that as one ages, one's circulation decreases. I mean, you always hear older people, they're chilly, or it's a basic aging issue.
Actually, it is. And that's one of the things that I've sensed from it is that, like you, I'm a writer and a speaker, and I've sensed so much more alertness and ability to focus for longer times. And it's this oxygen that's getting to your brain, especially when you're someone my age.
To explain it simply, Eric, what happens as you get older, your body starts to produce less nitric oxide. Nitric oxide is very important because it acts as a vasodilator. It increases the dilation of your arteries. And your body starts to produce more ET1. ET1 is the bad stuff. It's a vasoconstrictor. It makes your arteries hard. So what Vinia is able to do, and we've proven this in our in vitro trials, we were able to demonstrate that the actual cells that line your arteries, once we start to put Vinia in your body, we increase the nitric oxide levels. So we increase significantly the good stuff, and we decrease the bad stuff, the ET1. And that's why you have this huge increase in blood flow in your body. And with this increased blood flow, as OS has experienced, you have much more mental alertness, much more physical energy. It maintains blood pressure already within the normal ranges.
When did you know that you had pulled this off effectively?
So as a company, we realized that we really had created that miracle superfood once we saw the dramatic results in the clinical trials. We had multiple people that were on the product that had experienced fantastic results, but when obviously you're able to validate this across a larger base scientifically with clinical trials, and then today, for example, in the US, where we've just started to sell Vinia, we have more than 750 verified reviews with a rating of 4.8 out of 5. And what's important, Eric, is when you actually go and you read the reviews and you see the language and the level of engagement of our customers with the product and how it's dramatically, positively changed their lives. And that's really the privilege that I have as a CEO, to wake up every single day. I feel like I'm doing God's work every single day, bringing the power of this technology that can unleash the power of the plant and bring this to the people. And we have, you think about the 7 species, the grape is one of the 7 species. We also have olive cells in our actual pipeline, which will be launched next year, which is all around management of cholesterol, as well as pomegranate cells. So this is how we're unleashing the technology across a lineup of critical polyphenols that can have a dramatic impact on our bodies as we look to experience a better, more holistic life. And what's important is we're at the crossroads of 3 very important trends out there. 1 is health and wellness, 2 is the power of technology, and 3 is sustainability. From a health and wellness perspective, given what the world has experienced the last 2 years, health and wellness has never been more on people's minds than ever before. From a technology perspective, you talked about the innovations coming from Israel. We realize that it's breakthrough technology that's going to be able to drive that longevity and quality of longevity in our lives. And then importantly, as global citizens, we have to make sure we leave the world in a better state for our children and our grandchildren. And when you look at the technology and the sustainability credentials, which are at the core of the technology, for example, one bioreactor every 3 weeks produces the same amount of piceid resveratrol as literally 20,000 square meters of land.
You can go to ViniaBloodFlow.com, VINIA, ViniaBloodFlow.com. In closing, let me say what I think is appropriate, generally speaking. Thank you for coming, and L'chaim.
L'chaim to life.
L'chaim.